Good morning, guys. So this is just a brief introduction to what to expect from when we're in Intergy. The screen that I'm showing you now, so when you're seeing a patient and your nurses work the patient up, when you get the chart, what you're going to see is this is what you're going to see. So you're going to go to draft, and then you'll see the reason for why the patient's here. They're here for a 4-year physical. You'll see who completed the history. I just put the name in so you can kind of see what that will look like. The allergies kind of comes in first, and then the HPI, so who they were accompanied by, bowel movements, all the same things we typically see, developmental things, significant changes in the family. The things being in bold type, as I've been playing with these templates, I think that probably the best way for us to have things stand out is to use all caps. There's not a shows up in red like what we had in Intergy. But you can see these are the things that you know the person who did the history will put in. They're going to get vaccines. It doesn't look like they're having enough physical activity, and it looks like they are having too much screen time when that was put in. You see about the vision screen, parent has no concerns, did pass. Didn't put in that there was a hearing screen. There's some questions about anemia. So you can see they're not at high risk. They did complete their lead test on the lead screening on freesia as well as on for tuberculosis. And then this is really the section that we're typically going to be putting in. So this is the generic physical exam for a 4-year-old female that's in the chart. When your nurse is working this patient up, they're going to pull in, just so you kind of know how this works, they're going to be going to 4-year-old physical, and that puts that in, and then that puts in all the historical things, and they have click boxes they can go through. As far as what they're going to be putting in for the physical exam, they're going to go to physical exam for a 4 to 10-year-old and put that in, because unlike with Prime Suite, where it will put the physical exam a certain way if it's a male or a female, they can do that. The Intergy doesn't do that. So these are the basics. So no acute distress. If you want to say that the child wasn't alert, if you click on that finding, you'll see a general appearance thing come up here. And if you want to say that they weren't alert, you can say that'll convert to not alert. So I right-clicked on it and then went down and said reverse finding. So I put all the basic things in here that you'd want to comment on. Say that if the child actually has had PE tubes placed, you can also, again, just reverse that finding, and then it'll say that the child has PE tubes. So that comes in there. It says their eardrum was otherwise normal. These are similar to the things that we see in all of the physical exams that are currently done. If there are things that you didn't do, like say you didn't do a capillary refill test on the patient, you can just hit delete and that will go away. These physical exam forms are not set in stone, so if there are things that it turns out everybody doesn't really want to have in there, those can be modified. So say you've gone through this thing and you've noted that the PE tubes were in place, but the only thing that you really changed, then you'll move on from there. Say, for instance, you want to actually say that there was a skin lesion and you'd like to actually free text that in. What you can do is just reverse the finding, and then you can say there was a 2 centimeter, hyperpigmented macule on left thigh. Then that will pop in that way. Again, it does help to make it show up if you make that in all caps. Again, on left anterior thigh. So that just comes in there. And what that will look like when you actually finally have the note done, if you go to preview up here, everything that we filled in that wasn't kind of a normal will come in as a bold. So those PE tubes are going to show up as being in bold. And then your, oh, you want to say there was a skin lesion, that'll show up there. So once you're done with this part of the chart, you're going to click, and this is different from Entergy. Typically in Entergy, you just hit, you hit save and sign, and that goes away. This is a little bit different because the note and the orders and charges are somewhat separated. So say that there's nothing else that you're going to be needing to do for that patient. You're just going to go to charges and say that this is a charges. You have a bunch of different tabs up here. If you're going to do a prescription, you would click here. Labs, actually our labs are going to be here and here, so this tab will go away. But you're going to go to charges on this upper tab in orders and charges, and you're going to select patient 1 to 4, and you're only going to click on it once. If you click on it twice, 2 things come in. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And you're going to click on, this is the well child visit, and that's going to be a, oh, did it wrong. So you just click and remove. So you just click, there it is, there's your preventative visit. And then if, since we're going to make sure that we're getting these people back, you're going to go next to follow-up appointment. So that is going to be, that's replacing the current recall function. So you just click 1 year, and then you'll go down here to the bottom and click on save. Then you'll go back to your note. And if there's nothing else that you're changing, and you'll now see that that follow-up appointment has been put at the bottom of your note. So you're going to go ahead and click sign, and then your note has been, and then you'll come to this screen and it'll say sign. And now you're done with your note. If you want to see what your note looked like, you go back to here, to the docs section, which is where the documents are, and here's your note. Again, you'll see that, those abnormal things you found that you highlighted on the physical exam are in bold. And then your follow-up appointment is there as well. Other things that you'll notice about this, about the screen is there's what the section that we call My Day. So this is where all of your appointments that you have are going to be showing up, any tasks that you have, as well as any open notes. And then you can also look at what your appointments are for the day. If we want to go back to our patients chart, which was Tweety Bird, if you click on patient and don't click on the hourglass, on the magnifying glass, you'll just go to whatever patient you saw last. Back in Tweety Bird's chart, you can go look at what health reminders they may have, what are their problems. These were things that I put in under previous notes. Medications, allergies, vitals, documents, labs. Those are all right there, as well as any open tasks. And then here are their immunizations that they have had, as far as what's going to be due later on, and then what they're due for currently. So this is the basics of what you'll see when you go into a checkup visit. I'll be sharing some more videos as we go along, but I just wanted to give you that basic layout.